My name is Opher Brayer. I'm from Israel. 2 weeks ago, Israel sold a small startup for $20 billion. Last month, Israel sold a small startup for $12 billion. 3 months ago, Israel sold a startup for $15 billion. What do they eat in Israel? So they build startups and sell them. They eat something right. And we call it the right education. You have to build something on the long term so people will be able to build startups and sell them. And that's besides other startups who are below billion. Something is right. Something is right somewhere in the Middle East. STAGES is a program which a friend here in the Czech Republic, Martin Hausenblas, and me decided to build a smart education system that will enable you within 6 to 12 years to start and sell startups, maybe for 30 billion. This program was initiated 4 months ago, and it started in a small city up in the north, which is called Ústí-nad-Labem. Slowly, we'll get to other 6 cities, and Prague will be the last one. How do you build a smart city, and not smart city versus like technology smart city? Smart brain city. Smart technology city is not important. Smart brain city is very important. Well, basically, you start with education. If you create smart education, and you know how to hack the system of education, we Israelis, we are hackers. We don't confront the system. We don't fight the system. We don't say, oh, it's impossible, because everything is possible in Israel. So what we do, we hack the system, and we create a smart education system, which is already now in Ústí-nad-Labem. You have 1,000 kids now studying a special model that will enable them to be very, very smart. When you create a city with good education, and you do some public relationship around it, you will see that many parents would say, I want my children to be in Ústí-nad-Labem because it's the best education system. As far as you know, usually people say the education system is not good everywhere in the world. But when people will hear that there is a smart education system, the first thing they will do is saying, we want our children to go to this city with smart kids. When people do this, the second part they have in their head, okay, we found that there's one city with amazing education, but can we, parents, get a good job? And not a job of $500 per month, but a job for $5,000 per month. Can we have it? Well, for that you have to have a city with high-level technology startups, where you can be paid $5,000 per month if you know how to code or do other things. So when you do the education, and people want to come, and you say, hello, please come over here, we'll educate the parents, and they will become the next computer scientist in the city, then parents will say, hey, it's good for the children, it's good for us, let's see if we can find an apartment to live, a nice apartment to live. And that's where comes the real estate. You have to rebuild the city, you have to bring from Israel investors to rebuild the city, put a lot of money in there in order to build a beautiful place with amazing restaurants and with the best Luna Park in the world. And this is Ústí. Yes, in 5 years, you will walk there by foot in order to be in that Luna Park, which will be much better than Disney and some other things that you can't imagine that can be done. And then when tourists come to this place, what do tourists do? Spend money. That's the only thing tourists do. They come with their money, big pockets, they go with empty pocket, they work for 10 months to go again to spend all the money they have earned. So when people will come and will invest money, they will see something else. If these are internal people from the Czech Republic, they will come as tourists to the best Luna Park in the world. But then they will see that there's, wow, great education, a lot of good jobs. Wow, what a development of a city. And they will decide to move to Ústí-nad-Labem. But this will be only the first city. Don't worry. It's just first model. I'm sorry. So how do you do it? First, we create in Ustinad Lab an R&D center for educational methodologies. Methodologies that can hack the system and create smart human to raise the IQ of all the kids there and make them creative. Basically, they will be able to learn 10 times faster, which means that they don't have to spend 10 months to learn something that can be learned in 1 month, and you know it. The other thing they will be able to do is to be highly creative. 10 times more ideas, and every idea will be much better than any idea of the same age of other people. This system is already being implemented with the help of a lot of people around the city, the mayor, the investors, Czech Invest, the local university, the local innovation center. Everybody is involved in the system. So, you have an R&D. So let's see. Around the R&D center, there will be a boarding school that will engage every year 2,000 geniuses from different schools, different cities to come over there. But those geniuses will not be born geniuses. We will hack all the education system of the whole Czech Republic and will start at the age of 6 to develop unique talents with high level and high IQ. We'll take regular kids and create geniuses from them. After 6 years, they will go and study science and finish all science programs in 2 years, from 14 to 16. At 16, they will go to this boarding school and they will start to learn coding, all languages of all computer science. Basically, we take 200,000 kids, we shrink them into 20,000 kids, into 2,000 kids that will go to that boarding school. They will work there in a startup environment that I will explain in a second. From the age 14, they will study all computer programming languages, and the age of 16, they will go to the local university, UYEP, with a special program that will enable them to finish computer science degree and degree in economics. When you have a child that is thinking 10 times faster, when you have a child that can be highly creative, when you have a child that will have a natural mathematical brain, natural, we are going to create natural mathematical brains. You know why kids hate mathematics? Because mathematics is abstract. You cannot learn 2 times 2 and it has no meaning. Until the age of 12, none of the kids in the world can understand mathematics, and when you enforce them to practice, they hate it. Kids need imagination, not abstract. If you could imagine numbers as something else, then that's a different game. So all those kids will go through a system that will teach them through the arts, understanding mathematics and not knowing algebra. At the age of 18, they have finished to work for 4 years in a startup environment which is around the boarding school. We want to build around 3,000 to 4,000 startups environment, a village for startups. It's not a lot. It seems a lot. But when you have 15,000 startups in Israel and 20,000 in Silicon Valley, 3,000 is not really a lot. We want those startups to become unicorns. Unicorns are companies who are $1 billion and above. We need at least 30 to 40 unicorns here in Czech Republic. And the reason is very simple. Wherever you have a unicorn, there are a lot of startups around trying to sell something to the unicorn. Because you don't have many unicorns in here, maybe 1 or 2, there's no need for the startups industry to be here. If you go, I work in Silicon Valley and in Israel. When you go in Silicon Valley, sorry, and you see a building of Apple, and a building of Airbnb, and a building of Google, and all around you will see thousands of startups trying to make something and to exit, to sell to Google, or wishing to become Google. So, in order to create an environment, you need unicorn companies. We are going to create the startup accelerator of 3,000 to 4,000 startups, and hopefully, if people will have the right sense of urgency here, will be able to create unicorns. You have to have a sense of urgency. In Israel, we move very fast. I came to this country 4 months ago, and I already implemented methodologies in schools and building an accelerator. That's only 4 months. The corporate environment here, IBM, Microsoft, and all the rest, will help us to build this area. They agreed on it already. We'll create a support system around that area, like, offices of lawyers, patent lawyers, restaurants, gym, swimming pools, everything else. We'll give this and it is in the best place in the world, beautiful place in the world, which is STAGES.GLOBAL, which is 20 minutes from Dresden, Germany, and only 70 kilometers from Prague, exactly like Silicon Valley is 70 kilometers from San Francisco. So how are we going to do it? I don't have a clock. Somebody can tell me how much I have left? Oh, 1 minute. That's good enough. So, the talent model is from age 6 to 12. All kids will become multi-talents, whether they're being born like this or not. Then at 12, at 14, they will study technology, they will study how to code. For 14 to 16, they will have their BA in computer science and in economics, and then they will go to work for the corporate. You need to work in a corporate in order to know how to build a unicorn. All of them in the program will go to work for IBM and Microsoft and all the rest, 45 companies. Then they will come back, if they want to this area in STAGES.GLOBAL to build their own startups in a very systematic model, not guesswork of how to build a startup, but with the know-how of how to build a startup and a unicorn. They will become leaders in the market. Those kids will be smart and will be good humans who give back to society. So this multi-talent development through the science will enable this country to have 2,000 geniuses every year being created here. Israel is doing the same. In Israel, there's a unit being called A200 in the Israeli army. These are top geniuses of the country. They've been evolved. They are all geniuses in data mining, data analysis, computer design, whatever you want. And those kids, when they finish the Israeli army at 21, they build startups, they sell them, and at 30 years old, they're all multimillionaires without going to university. So thank you. I'm here to make the same, and there are a lot of people around me that are really helpful, and everyone in here can bring something into this model. I'm here to give you back. You as a country gave us the opportunity to build Israel, and you don't know it in history. When Israel was established in 1948, we had zero chance to succeed in a war. You, the Czech people, gave us all the guns to fight the war and to build a beautiful country. So thank you.